coming into this process, we were really thinking about and reflecting on the tremendous work that our network had done through the pandemic, the powerful work that was happening to kind of be there when communities needed our network. That experience clarified a lot of things for us, and I think for staff here at MAC, and through our conversations with members, to really say, we had communities back. We've been here. We're here. We need to lift our voice more. We need to uplift the value of the work that we're doing more. There's things that need a collective approach, and then there's things that really need a local, really focused in community approach, right? We're trying to lean on the decades now of knowledge we have in looking at the operational challenges of our network. We're trying to lean on that knowledge to come up with solutions for some of the really big intractable challenges that are here, right? So narrative change. So it's just like, how do we talk about our work to our funders, to our donors, to our policymakers, the value of human services? I think that's increasingly something that MAC's going to be leaning into heavily as important work we could do as a collective. Pay justice, data justice, narrative change, centering inclusion, diversity, equity, and belonging inside of all of our organizations and supporting everybody's work on their journey. I think these are things we're trying to look into, like the future together, walk forward together as a network. I think the clarity in both the vision and the mission that everyone has the right to well-being, and that human service nonprofits are like so critical to building community well-being. Like, we are folks out on the ground that are doing that work. Everybody at some point in your life is going to touch human services. You're going to engage with one of these organizations. It doesn't matter who you are, where you live, we're going to be here, right? And so having a really strong human services ecosystem benefits everybody. And MAC and our network organizations are really critical to that. So having this new mission, new vision, all of it coming together feels so exciting. I've been here a long time, and I think feels so clarifying. It represents so much, I think, the hard work that this network has done together, and I think where we're increasingly looking to the future together.
So one thing that I know MAC is already working on and our network is already working on is data justice. This is something that I've been pretty involved with as a member of MAC's data services team. So the main thing that we do is we build out a client database to support our members with tracking their client data. But another thing we've layered in the last few years is data justice, which is the idea that we need to build equity into all aspects of our data practices. So we've noticed that human service nonprofits collect a lot of data about clients, and it's imperative that we treat it responsibly and use it and that we both avoid doing any harm with that data and that we use it to actively do good. And by we, I mean MAC staff and also member staff. Everybody is kind of equal partners in this work, and member staff are much closer to the problems and more able to directly enact the solutions than we are.
Our work has shifted, and it's leaned into sort of this idea that, it's not just like it's important to have shared services for our members to remain stable, but there's also like a push or an energy or a force that sort of seeks to actually remedy systematic problems and challenges that are, standing in the way from all of our members to fully realize their missions. And what is MAC's role in being able to lean in as a collective group of nonprofits to solve those?
One thing that I like a lot is that the mission statement very much embodies work that we are already doing and have done for a long time in terms of working together to build and operate systems and solutions to these complex kinds of problems that has been true for more than 20 years now in the network in terms of some of the administrative infrastructure solutions, in terms of taking advantage of co-op purchasing tactics, in terms of some shared advocacy, in terms of relationship building and supporting one another. Many of these things are things that we've done for a long time, but what I like a lot at the same time is that this provides a framework for us to think about future adaptive strategies to do more of that, and potentially in new ways going forward as the world continues to evolve around us. It's a framework to continue working together in new ways to develop even more new solutions and structures to advance us toward the kind of world we want to live in. I think that's really cool.